present. So roll call is full board. Approval of minutes. Accept the minutes of 3/27/25. Motion by Mr. Massey, seconded by myself. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We have a bid opening to start with. The bid openings will be for street materials and asphalt materials. Mr. Trujillo has presented everything we received. And the first group will be asphalt materials. First is by Callahan Industries.
Callahan Industries for asphalt. Non-collision form is signed, the bid documents are complete, and the bids are as follows. Asphalt type 6, freight on board at the plant, $77 per ton. Type 7, $84.50 per ton. No bid on type 4. Type 3 binder, $75 per ton. Type 1 base course, $75.50 per ton. The previous number for type 3, that was $75.50. That's a correction. And for type 2 base course, that would be $75.50 per ton. And premix cold patch, $144 per ton. And that is freight on board at the plant. And delivered will be $160 per ton delivered. And the plant is out of Monticello, New York. They have another bid, and that's coming out of their Montgomery plant. We'll start again with type 7. That's Monticello. And then from Montgomery. For type 6, $78.75 per ton. For type 7, $86 per ton. No bid on type 4. And type 3 binder course, $77 per ton. Type 1 base course, $76.50 per ton. And type 2, $76.50 per ton. And no bid on premix cold patch. And that's from Montgomery. This concludes Callahan bid.
Okay, next bid is Pets and Sons.
Thank you.
Which one did I hand you, Jacob?
It's Tets and Son.
Okay. Okay, next one will be Tilcon.
Okay, thank you.
Okay?
So the first item is type 6, is $88 per ton. Type 7, $90 per ton. Type 4, $88 per ton. Type 3, $87 per ton. Type 2 is $86 per ton. Type 1 was also $86 per ton. And the cold patch is, and that's all freight on board. Freight on board. And the cold patch is $45 per ton. $145 per ton. And that's also freight on board. And that's coming from Middletown, New York, the plant. Let's see if they have a second one. All non-collision form is signed and bid documents are signed.
Okay, next is Tilcon.
Thank you. Tilcon bid. Documents are signed, non-collision form is signed. First item is type 6, top course. Freight on board, $87.45 per ton. It's all freight on board. Type 7, $89.45. No bid on type 4. Type 3 binder, $83.45 per ton. Type 1 base course, $82.20 per ton. No bid on type 2 base. And no bid on cold patch. That's coming from Dutchess Quarry in Goshen.
Is that everything?
Yes.
Okay, this package, the FedEx that I just opened, that was unmarked, we thought it may have been a bid, that's why I opened it. It happens to be Mr. Tawil's city credit card that came in the mail. So I just want to make sure that people saw me open a FedEx envelope, that they understand that it was not a bid.
You didn't take my credit
Yeah,
card.
if it was his private credit card, I would distribute it, but it's a city credit card.
The credit card there?
The credit card is there.
All right.
Next is bidding on the next sand and gravel, I believe,
Yes.
in Callahan Industries.
Thank you. Callahan Industries for sand and gravel supplies. Bid documents and non-collision forms are signed. And first item for Callahan. No bid on sand and gravel, no bid on wash sand and gravel. The first item is New York State item 304. No bid here, bid here. And that item 4 is $29.40 per ton, and that is delivered to the city. $29.40 per ton. Freight on board at the plant, $13.40. Crushed stone, number 2, $38 per ton. And freight on board, $22 per ton. Crushed stone, number 3, $38 also per ton. Freight on board, $22 per ton. Riprap, light stone, $38 per ton, $22 per ton freight on board. No bid for bank run. And the place is Monticello, New York. And this concludes Callahan.
Okay. These are the next package. Just announce who you're,
Yes, sir.
who you're reading.
Yeah.
I'll be listening.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right. Next bid will be from Telcon, New York. Bid documents are signed. There's no bid for wash sand. No bid for screen gravel. Item 4, stockpile, that means delivered to the city, $31.15. Freight on board, $18.15. Crushed stone, $35. That's delivered. $22.50. Freight on board. Crushed stone number 3, $35.50. Freight on board, $22.50. And riprap is $40.75. And that is freight on board. I'm sorry, that's delivered. Freight on board is $27.75. There's no bid for bank run, and that is coming from Dutchess Quarry Goshen. Next item, next bid is from Aiden Mining out of Montgomery, New York. Bid documents are signed. The prices are, the bids are as follows. That's Aiden again. No bid on wash sand, no bid on screen gravel. The first item is New York State 304, stockpiled at city sites. That would be $20.19. Freight on board, $15.69. Crushed stone number 2 is $25.95. Delivered, $21.45. Freight on board. Crushed stone number 3, $25.95. Delivered, $21.45. Freight on board. Riprap, light stone, $32.45. Delivered. Freight on board is $27.95. There's nothing, no bid for bank run, and it's coming out of Montgomery, New York. Okay, so in here we have another bid coming out of Slate Hill. Okay.
You ever hear the expression, watching paint dry? Can you speed it up a little bit, or?
I can't. I got 3 bids in 1 bid.
Oh.
Slate is $20.
Next time we'll do that.
$20, so you got item 4 in there, $20.19. for item 4. For crushed stone number 2 is $25.95, and delivered, freight on board is $21.45. And then for number 3 is also $25.95, delivered $21.45, freight on board. Riprap is $32.45, and that is job site delivered $27.95. That will be freight on board. And this is coming out of Slate Hill, New York. And they have another bid coming out of Bloomberg. And from Bloomberg, first item is $33, which is for screen and wash sand, $33.45. Job site, $28.95, freight on board. It's washed. Screen gravel, $25.95. Job site, $21.45, freight on board. That's gravel. And item 4, New York State item 4, is $20.19. And that is item 4. That's job site, $15.69. Freight on board. Crushed stone number 2, $25.95, job site, $21.45, freight on board. Number 3, crushed stone number 3, $25.95, job site, $21.45, freight on board. Riprap is $32.45, job site, $27.95, freight on board. That will be from Eden, and the location is Bloomberg. Yep, that concludes Eden.
Concludes all bids?
No. Listen, guys, this is government at work. You have to bid.
Correct.
Yeah, exactly. So you're gonna have to just grin and bear it, that's all. Next item, next bid is from Edits and Son. And the first item is screen wash sand is $36 per ton. Job site, $29, freight on board. Item 4, $23.50, job site, $17.50, freight on board. Chester plant, $10 per ton. I don't know what that means. I'll have to ask them. I have to clarify this. Crushed stone, $30, number 2, $30 per ton. Job site, $24 per ton. Freight on board. Number 3, $29. Job site, $23. Freight on board. Riprap, $31. Job site, $25. Freight on board. No bid for Bank Run, and that's coming out of Chester, Slate Hill and Chester. Slate, Chester. This concludes this bid. All documents are signed. And the last but not least, this is from Dick's Concrete, and the documents are signed, and the bids are as follows. First item, the screen and wash sand, job site, $36.95. Freight on board, $31. Screen gravel, $28.45. Job site, $22.50 at the plant. Item 4, $18.50. That will be job site, $14.50. Freight on board. Crushed stone, number 2, $23.50. Job site, $19.50. Freight on board. Crushed stone, number 3, $28.45. Job site, freight on board is $22.50. And riprap is $33.95. Freight, job site, $28. Freight on board. And now we have the first bank run. Bank run bid delivered is $25 per cubic yard, and picked up for rate on board is $18 per yard. And the place is New Hampton. All right, this concludes all the bids, Mayor.
Okay, motion to refer the bids to the Commissioner of Public Works for review and recommendation to the Common Council. So moved by Massey, seconded by Rodriguez. Any further questions? Would you like Mr. Tawil to read them again? That's a no. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next is authorization to approve the appraisal service contract with Ackerley and Hubble Appraisal Group for $2,200. I'll make the motion.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Massey. Any questions?
What property?
This is on North Street for a property that we're in litigation on. All in favor?
Aye.
Item 3.3, authorization to approve Capital Market Advisors Financial Advisory Service Agreement through December 26. And this is just a renewal, correct, Leonora? Motion by myself,
Second.
second by Rodriguez. No changes?
Every 2 years, they try to stay within no increase. For this year, it's a 2% increase.
2%? Okay. Any questions? All in favor? Oh, go ahead.
What do they do for us? The Capital Market Advisors?
And we
Financial-
bond.
They
Or
do
our
our
bonds?
bonding and our debt service statement and make sure we are in compliance
2%'s a lot of money.
and debt
They
service.
How much raise did you get this year?
It's every 2 years.
But did they increase us 2% last time too, or
2 years ago.
2 years ago? So last year was 0, so it's basically 1% a year.
Okay.
What are the alternatives to capital markets? We're happy with them, obviously,
Yes, there is alternatives, but
but you're very happy with capital markets?
we're not, we don't.
Is this
get
where
in trouble.
Ferguson used to work for? Beth, I think her name was?
No, this is a different one.
This is the same company or a different company?
Different company.
Okay. Okay. This is your recommendation, huh?
Yes.
Okay, so we have a resolution on the floor, seconded by Rodriguez. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Authorization 3.4, authorization to approve the contract of sale for the purchase and development of 122 Dorothea Dix, including development goals and targets. This is a Tuckerman Hall, and motion is by myself,
Second.
seconded by Massey, and I just want to get some comments on the record. First of all, this is not the Kleiner Building. This is only Tuckerman Hall. And what I proposed, as you know, this is a 279,000 square foot building. It's been deteriorating and empty for many, many years, obviously underutilized, and this was one of the properties that we acquired from New York State for $1. I'm proposing that we sell it to Faytian College, which is a private institution already invested heavily with millions of dollars investment in transformation, or part of the transformation of the former Middletown Psychiatric Campus. The sale price will be determined by the speed and the development of the project. If they do not meet their development goals, the cost will be $150,001. If they do meet their development goals, which will require an estimate of about $15 to $20 million, that is on the low side, then the transfer will be for $1. This is a similar deal with development goals that we did with Clemson Brothers, Equilibrium Brewery 1, Equilibrium Brewery 2, 11 King Street. All of these projects had development goals which reduced the cost of the property. Some of those properties were in much better shape than this one. If you recall, the city did own a piece, or was responsible for cleaning up a piece of property at the former psychiatric grounds that was owned by a shell company, and it ended up costing us about $1.2 million after the fire. So it's in our best interest, I believe, to get these buildings cleaned up and back in operation. Anyone who would like a tour of the Woodman Hall, the former nurses station, 84 Dorothea Dix, where they recently held a public event to present their campus plans to the public, we certainly can arrange that. Faytian certainly has been a strong institutional partner for the city. The college has revitalized several blighted buildings on the property, and I believe their total investment to date exceeds $20 million on that campus. It fits well with our goals of as a hub of major educational, cultural, and economic activity in Middletown. Also, will coincide, hopefully, with our redevelopment, the city's redevelopment of the Kleiner Building, in which Senator Skoufis was able to get a $10 million budget appropriation into the Senate version of the 2026 budget. It's not passed yet, but at least it's a step in the right direction, getting it into the Senate version. And then the city will be developing that property, the Kleiner property. But for this building here, there is absolutely no use for the city of Middletown. It's huge, 279,000 square feet, and in very, very poor condition. As you know, Faytian College will soon be renamed Northern College. Their appeal is going primarily from a school focused on dance and the arts as a campus or a satellite campus to the Deer Park College, to a main campus called Northern College, independent and appealing to more than just the fine arts programs. They currently have been approved for programs in biomedical, big data, and several other four-year degree programs, and are working on going from Northern College to Northern University, becoming an actual four-year university. The enrollment is projected to be 2,000 students within the next 5 years, and Tuckerman will support the growth with a space for academic, residential, and institutional areas at the college. I believe the continued investment in campus growth will boost the local economy, especially that campus, will reduce the blight on that campus, will have significant job creation and neighborhood revitalization for that part of our city. The agreement ensures accountability while enabling strategic reuse of this long vacant property that New York State abandoned and left here in the city of Middletown. This is a model of smart public-private partnership that puts taxpayer resources to good use. We're partnering with a private company to redevelop this property, and as I said, this is a model that we've used successfully in taking other blighted structures in the city and revitalizing them. Hopefully, this proposal will be presented to the Common Council for consideration in the coming weeks, and hopefully we'll have the same result as we had in the past. So if we have any questions, Maria Bruni is here for the Economic Development Office, and maybe Maria come up and just give a brief comment on the segmenting of the development. I think the building is in 5 wings, or 4 wings, I'm not sure.
There's 4 wings.
4 wings, okay.
Yep.
Can you give us just a little timeline?
Sure.
For the record.
The tentative phases is, as soon as the building is in their hands, to go for planning board approval for college and education use, then obtain a building permit. Phase 1, which is Wing A, the right front, when you're facing the entrance, would be like reception, offices, instruction rooms, dining, conference rooms, and office, all education, college purpose. Phase 2 is the left back when facing the entrance, student activities, dorms, and offices. Phase 3, Wing B, left front when facing entrance, instructions, additional instruction rooms, offices, meeting rooms, conference rooms. And Phase 4, Wing D, right back when facing entrance, additional instruction rooms, offices, meeting rooms, and more conference room. And this renovation plan is, they would like to begin as soon as possible, and it's basically around a 6 to 7 year plan. Depending, it could move faster depending on, how quickly they can move with the construction. But this is their proposal. We have, like you mentioned, Mayor, development goals. That's in the note and mortgage. There'll be penalties if they don't meet their goals. And yeah, it's a great project, and it's needed to advance their enrollment and additional students to the campus.
This is similar to the 84 Dorothea Dix, which is now mostly repaired and renovated, and
Exactly.
also has a CO for portions of the building.
Exactly.
Okay, any questions? Comments? Okay, the motion was by myself, it was seconded by, I think I have M down here, is that Massey? Oh, Rodriguez?
Or Massey?
Massey seconded it, okay. Any further comments, all in favor? Aye?
Aye.
Aye. And Massey?
I said aye.
Oh, I didn't hear you.
You didn't hear me, I'm sorry.
Okay, item 3.5, authorization to renew agreement with Auctions International, who handles our, when we have surplus equipment.
Motion.
Motion by Rodriguez,
Second.
seconded by Massey. Any questions? Same type of renewal, Jacob? Any changes in fee? Once, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item 3.6, authorization to surplus vehicles, a 2005 Ford Expedition, 2008 Chevy pickup, and a 2008 Chevy Tahoe. And they'll all go through this auction? Okay, so motion by
Motion.
Rodriguez,
Second.
seconded by Massey. Is this because you were able to connive us into buying additional vehicles at the last meeting?
No, we're getting rid of the 2017.
We're going to assign one of those vehicles to you, Your Honor.
Oh, no, I have a vehicle, that's
You have a
okay.
vehicle, all right, so then that's it. Then we have to auction it off.
Okay, great, thank you. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 3.7, authorization to accept a donation from the Middletown Lions Club of $250 for the fishing derby to deposit into the recreation account. Motion by
So moved.
Massey, seconded by
Me.
Rodriguez. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you to the Lions Club. Authorization, 3.8, authorization to waive sidewalk sale fees for the Cinco de Mayo celebration.
So moved.
Moved by Massey, seconded by Rodriguez. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item 3.9, authorization to enter into agreements with Pets Alive for stray dogs and cat rescue. The Common Council of the City of Middletown concurs with the Board of Estimates to sign the agreements, authorizing me to sign the agreements. Motion by
So moved.
Massey,
Second.
seconded by Rodriguez. All in favor?
Aye.
Item 3.10, authorization to enter into an agreement for stray and dumped animal rescue with, who's the agreement with?
Dump straight.
Oh, that's the name of the company? Okay. I thought you were talking about dumped and stray animals. Okay, so, motion by myself,
Second.
seconded by Rodriguez. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item 3.11, authorization to approve end-of-season bonus for lifeguards. And Ray Lynn is going to come up and explain the problem we are having with lifeguards.
We are unfortunately back at it like we were 2 years ago with looking for lifeguards. We are doing a free certification class this year. 2 years ago, we offered it, and kids were jumping on it like crazy. This year, we're offering it for free, and I think right now we have 3 people signed up. A lot of our returners are not coming back to us. They are seeking out other jobs, so we're trying to incentivize them and try to keep them here and make our job more appealing. And
Go ahead.
the bonuses would be, it's reimbursable through, Orange County Youth Bureau was given money through New York Swims, and we're in the process for a grant with them.
Right. So it'll be no cost to the city, but it'll be the grant money from New York Swims. And I think
Correct.
you said that was 19,000?
Yes, we're getting 19,000.
And we hope we spend it all here because that means we have a lot of lifeguards.
Yes.
And one of the reasons why we did not renovate Maple Hill Pool was because of the shortage of lifeguards. We went to
Yes.
more to a splash pad. It's been a serious problem for years, and it's catching up to us again. Any questions? No? Mr. McGill? Possible you could become a lifeguard?
I was.
You were? All right. Well, I'm not a good swimmer, so I'm.
I want my bonus. I want my bonus. 'Cause I
Okay.
worked
You want the
till-
bonus, yeah.
Right.
Retro.
Okay, did we have a motion on the floor? I don't remember.
Yes.
You and McGill.
Okay. Okay, any other questions? None? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And then item is for a snow adjustment, which the landlord claims the tenant was responsible. The tenant became sick and was unable to do it. Anyone want to make a motion? Pictures are attached. I think that would be an excuse that we would hear quite often if we approved it.
So
Dies for lack of a motion.
moved adjourned.
Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.